Hey guys, today I wanted to reflect on almost exactly 1 year after my very last track practice that I had with my old competitive team. So I've been with that team for 3 years, and I wanted to think about some of the lessons that I've learned from that, because some of these lessons I don't think I would have been able to have if it weren't for track. So I have a lot of things to be thankful for after doing this amazing sport for so many years. And it is something that I want to continue in the future, perhaps not competitively, but I still do want to be running track and doing speed work. One of the big things that I learned is resilience. So, what I mean by this is at the very beginning, when I first started track, there were a bunch of races that did not go very well, but that was like what I could do at the time because I hadn't been training for that many years. I hadn't really known the correct techniques, and the training was not as intense as it kind of was near the last 2 years. But it's being able to pick yourself up after you don't do as well and come back stronger the next time, and actively doing things to get there rather than just saying, okay, next race is going to be better, but how is it going to be better? You have to think about what you want to implement in your next practice, in your next training session, and what other advice your coach can give you to help get you to where you want to be. So, yeah, that is a big one, resilience, and being able to just overcome these mental barriers. And that's a big one because it's not only in track, you also see it in a lot of things like school and just in regular life, where you come up with a challenge or something happens and it doesn't quite go your way, and you have to think about how to improve for next time. And track has really helped me with that. Another thing is definitely teamwork. So the way I like to think about track is doing an individual sport in a team environment, because you have all these people, all your teammates, everyone that you train with, even people from other teams, always cheering you on. And that feeling of having people surrounding every inch of the track just screaming at you, and you hear your name somewhere in the bleachers, you're completely shut off to everything else, except for sometimes when someone says your name, it just is like a switch, and then you feel like, okay, now is go time, and then you always think about that as you're racing. So that is a big one. Just teamwork and you cheering other people on too. It just is such a good feeling, especially when you see one of your teammates on the podium, or at the end of the day you hear on the announcements somebody from your team has gotten whatever place in their event, and especially if it's like a newer event to them, and you're like, wow, they really did well. And like with competitive track and CalTAF, even when you hear the announcers announce the people at the line, when you hear your teammate's name, it's like, yes, and you just feel such a feeling of family, because that's what track was, that's what our team was. And CalTAF is still a very special team for me, as well as Eberhard Orange. And both of these teams I will not forget, and all the coaches from all of these teams I will also not forget. Another very big lesson, is self-discipline. And by this I mean sometimes, especially during a hard school day, well, I mean as hard as high school could get, but after a day where you just want to go home, you just want to like eat snacks and not do anything, like you always have track right after. And I remember I had back when I had track, I had dinner at 4:36 on the dot, 4:36, and then I would finish dinner at exactly 5, and then I would try to get ready as fast as I could, and then be out the door, and then get to the track at around 5:50. And then at 5:50 we would have our warm-ups, and then warm-up was, like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, including dynamics and everything. And then self-discipline would be getting yourself to that spot right after warm-up is like the worst. Well, it's not the worst moment, but it's like the hardest moment, because you have in the back of your mind, you have that workout, you're thinking about that workout, the workout that's going to be so hard, that's going to just absolutely obliterate you, but at the end of the workout, you're going to feel so good. But that's like, even during the workout, I find is not as bad as right before the workout. But yeah. having the self-discipline to continuously push yourself to go to these consistent workouts, consistent training practices, because in the bigger picture, what you want is you want to do well in the meets. You want to get your PBs, and you want to bring points to your team and to your school. So yeah, these are some of the biggest lessons I have learned from track. Just falling down and being able to get up, because I have fallen very many times, especially in, hurdles, long jump, even sprints, out of the blocks, everything. And everything is a process. And once you get through, like I said, some of the mental barriers, you have the physical barriers, you have the hurdles, but then you also have the mental stuff. And once you get over that, the rest of track is really just riding on that adrenaline of races. And you always have them upcoming, and then you always have something to look forward to and something to train for. And yeah, that is, these are some of the reasons why I like track. And yeah, thank you very much for listening.